Alright fellas, it's Mad Friday and welcome to another Is It Worth the Gold episode. Yes, I've wasted even more of my money buying some more premium tanks. So I'm going to do a quick review on them for you guys to see whether you want to spend your hard-earned readies on buying one of these beasts. Right, so what's in the garage at the minute? It's the M3 the Nuff, and the SU-100Y, aka the box tank. Aka the tank that shouldn't work, but it does. Yeah, I've had a few games in it, and I'm still on the fence about it, but it is fun. It really depends what you want out of it. Right, so let's look at the two bundles quickly. So the first one, 3,800. The second one is 5,300. So with the first one, you get the tank, a trained crew, camo net, some premium shells, a garage slot, and 3 days of premium. And if you pay a bit more gold, you get the same, but with 2 extra bits of equipment. And that's it by the looks of it. You're paying 1,000 something for 2 pieces of equipment, so it's totally up to you. And what I've just noticed as well, there's no ASOP, which is a shame because you normally get 1 extra day of premium with that. Right, so that's another look at it in the store. You've seen the prices, you've seen what it comes with, so let's have a look around this tank. Here it is, SU-100Y, the box tank. You can probably see why it's called box tank. It is a big, stupid, huge, ridiculous looking tank with a ridiculous, huge 130mm cannon at tier 6. First thing we can see on the screen now, it plays up to tier 8, so it does not have preferential matchmaking. But I don't think that's much of a problem, to be honest, and we'll explain at the end. Right, so straight into the tank itself. Let's have a look at the stats for it. Right, it has an 890 horsepower engine. To be honest, this is the first time I looked at stats, and that would explain why this thing does actually get around pretty quickly. I was quite surprised. The track traverse is very nice. So you can see track traverse is 30 degrees a second. That is tidy considering the size of this thing, the weight of this thing. Yeah, so starting off pretty good. Right, the gun, and possibly the most fun part about this tank, 130mm cannon, and on tier 6 tank only does 3.75 rounds per minute, but your standard penetration, you get 196mm of penetration and 440 alpha damage. Premium penetration drops, but the average alpha goes up. So we'll have a look at the ammunition types in a minute. And obviously the HE ammunition on this is going to be very, very useful with 65mm of penetration and 580 average alpha damage. Aiming time isn't too bad for a Russian tank at 2.9 and accuracy is 0.37. However, I have found a lot of my other 0.37 accuracy tanks are a damn sight more accurate than this thing. Maybe the RNG is just set to 11 on this thing. View range is not too bad at 350 meters, but as with any premium tank, pretty much the signal range is fairly low. Right, so that's enough of that. Let's go and investigate this ammo choice a little bit differently. Right, let's have a look. Right, so stock is armor piercing, between 330 and 550 damage with decent penetration for its tier. So the premium ammunition is also armor piercing, but it has less penetration but does more damage. Yeah, so basically you're paying more money to do more damage against lower tiers. So you can see what they're trying to get you to do here. If you're top tier in this thing, what they want you to do is load up premium ammunition and even be able to one-shot tier 6 tanks, let alone 5s and 4s. Yeah, even with the standard ammunition and a fairly average to low roll, you can one-shot pretty much every tier 4, most tier 5s with a decent roll, and with the premium ammunition you're going to be able to one-shot most tier 6s. And with the HE ammunition you're going to be able to one-shot squishy tier 7s. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Right, so that's the ammunition. At least it's not one of these funny things that fires HE as its standard ammo. Anyway, so we've had a look through the ammunition. I left the equipment that was supplied on it, and it seems to work. Camouflage net, binocular telescopes because the view range is poo, and a large caliber tank rammer because the reload is so long. However, I found myself moving most of the time in the few games I've played to try and get a decent video. So I may try ditching off the camo net for ventilation just to bring up that reload a little bit more. Yeah, so not bad at all so far. Not going to go into tanks.gg to see the armour. This armour will hold up against tier 5s easily. Some tier 6s if they don't aim very well, and also the sides of this turrety part. The game earlier I was bouncing a Tiger fairly reliably with this angled side parts and the gun mantlet, and then until an IS came around and put a huge round through my lower plate and set me on fire. Yeah, so it all depends. Well, it's the same as any tank destroyer really. All depends where they hit you and what you do with your angling. Anyway, so that's enough of that. You've had a quick look around the tank. Hopefully you can decide whether it interests you from that part. Now on to a little bit of gameplay, just to highlight how devastating this 130mm cannon really is.
Alright man, we've got enemies in the area. We either have to take them all out or capture their base. Let's roll!
Here we go, tankers, the mighty box tank in a top tier game. Right, so before I cut to the action, so we can see the pain train in full action, just want to give you a quick highlight of the mobility. That's an M6 there. Quite a mobile heavy tank for its tier, and we're either keeping up with it or we're slightly catching him, to be honest. And 30 degrees of track traverse is more than most tank destroyers, so you can quickly re-engage your targets by moving your tracks. So yeah, it's not too bad, to be honest. Right, so I'm going to cut out the boring parts because I don't want this video to be too long. I just want to give you guys a quick impression about what this tank is like, so you know if you want to spend your hard-earned readies. Right, so first target, a KV-1, tier 5 Russian tank. It's only a tier lower, and we were not far off one-shotting him. KV-1 does have a decent amount of hit points for a tier 5 tank as well, so yeah. Love this tank.
Ready to fire?
Right, skip to the next shot, we find a tier 5 T-34. Bang. He's gone. That's a tank only one tier lower, and he just disappears in one shot. Next up, got a spot on an M6. Some of our guys have hit him a couple of times, which is a shame, but that means we finish him off very easily. Next up, tier 4 American tank destroyer. Don't really need to use HE for him because the AP alpha damage is so great anyway, and he's one-shotted. Last shot of the game. Sneak up behind a light tank. Just too easy, to be honest. So there we go, I fired 5, hit 5, penetrated 5, and we have 4 kills. And I think that's what the box tank is going to play like. It's going to be a bit like a tier 6 Death Star. Right, so quick look at results, see what this thing makes for silver. Not bad at all. I've got no silver op switched on, so that is all just the premium silver. So for a tier 6 tank, it does make pretty good silver. Yeah, above average. So there we go, second on the team. Fired 5, penned 5, killed 4. Lovely jubbly. Not a huge amount of damage, but we did get the mastery because it is day 1 for this tank. And I reckon by tomorrow, the mastery figure is going to be ridiculously high. Yeah, some people, when they get their hands on this tank, they're just going to be the scourge of the battlefield, basically. No one's going to want to go near these things very soon. Right, so there we go, tankers. I hope I've given you enough information as briefly as possible to try and help you make your choice whether you're going to spend a little bit of gold on buying this absolute behemoth of a tier 6 Russian tank destroyer. Yeah, I'm sure you can tell, I've only played a couple of games so far and I picked the best one I could in such a short space of time to try and get this up for you as quickly as possible. This tank is going to be an absolute devil. I'm sure a lot of low tier players, like players that are new to the game, I'm pretty sure this tank is going to make a lot of them quit playing, to be honest. There's only going to be so many times they get one shot by a box tank before they give up and go and play something else, to be honest. But for those of you that are sadists and you like ruining people's days, it's probably worth your money, to be honest. Was I glad I spent the money? Well, yeah, to be honest. I've been looking forward to getting this tank for a long time. And it's going to be one of those tanks where you have 4 crap games and the 5th game is going to be totally worth it. Well, there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Is It Worth the Gold episode. Hope it helps you make your choice. Please give the vid a like if you did. Please sub if you're not. And I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.